I hope you're ready for another season of Nock On, because it is gonna be a good one.
One of my favorite states out west is Montana, because there's nothing quite like a Montana sunrise and some bugling bulls, or a Montana sunset with a river bottom loaded with big whitetails or mule deer. And this week, we're gonna be heading out to one of my favorite states, because I was lucky enough to open my mailbox and find a big game combo tag and a big bull draw. Well, we're here a night early out west. We're in Montana right now, and this is the alfalfa field where I shot a great buck a few years ago. So I'm going to set up a bail blind right here, and just to give you a rundown of how this plays out for the deer hunts, I put the bail blind right on the edge of these second cuts and the third cut alfalfa, because the deer really prefer that more palatable third cutting. So a lot of times these thin strips where they take out that third cut is a great spot to have your blind right on the edge. The bedding is all through the back, CRP grass and little cottonwood thickets. That's really all there is out here. The moon is perfect this week. It's actually coming up about an hour and a half before dark, and it's still setting in the morning. So we're actually going to try this spot in the morning. This is a great little transition field going from the CRP into the thicker bedding that's over here. So it's a great spot for mornings or evenings. I'm excited. Hopefully Montana treats me as well as it has in the past. Montana is one of the most beautiful states, and on this first morning in the blind, a mule deer of a lifetime comes walking over the hill. Now, I've been accused by my friends for having a lucky horseshoe up my butt, and in this case, I'm going to have to agree with them, because this muley was at least 10 miles from any hills, and he hadn't been seen by the farmer or a single local that I knew of. A buck like this is super rare to find on its own, let alone while you're out in a blind hunting alfalfa, hoping to shoot a 120-inch whitetail. Since I'm filming myself on this hunt, I didn't have a lot of options for moving the camera around to show you what else was going on. But this is an awesome, majestic buck, so I want you to enjoy this footage. But first off, there were several coyotes that were around this field, and they kept getting the deer really, really nervous. Now, luckily, the only direction my wind was blowing was the direction where I did not have deer. But if you listen close, you can hear me several times start to get really worked up and breathing hard, because I was getting super nervous that I wasn't going to be able to get a shot at this awesome buck. He kept closing the distance, and I was trying to keep my nerves down and just keep ranging the deer, all while I had whitetails within feet of my blind. As I'm fixated on this muley, a great whitetail steps right into my screen, and I had considered taking this buck because he was a great buck. However, I really wanted the muley. Unfortunately, he had moved into the window that my camera was filming out of, so I had to get my range, draw my bow back, and hold for a long time until he stepped into the exact spot that I could fit my arrow past the camera. Nock on TV is brought to you by Hoyt. Get serious, get Hoyt. Under Armour, go where you don't belong. Stealth Cam, game cameras. Redneck, bail blinds. Sherlock, hunting sights. Nocturnal, lighted Nocks. Fuse, hunting accessories. And Yamaha, ATV and side-by-sides, real world tough. I'm John Dudley. I'm an archer. I'm a bow hunter. I am defiant.
Without that lighted Nock, I can't quite see where I hit. I might be just a little bit low, but I never saw him come out of that whole creek. I can see a good ways with it, and I'm gonna play it safe. I got an antelope blind. I got that thing all ready to go. I think I'm gonna just slip out of here, go get an antelope blind for a few hours, and come back when I can have a camera guy with me. Come back and see if I can get that muley. Oh, I'm pumped. I am pumped.
Great blood. Awesome sign. He came right over that levee and just plowed through these cattails, and there's just blood spraying everywhere. Wind's picking up, but we've got a great trail. Blood, blood, blood. What a stud, dude. Oh man. Now if a buck's that big, it's easy to find them in the tall stuff. Oh. Here's the rewards of a perfect Montana morning. Got my good buddy Marty to come out with me. I was self-filming this morning out of a blind, and just an absolute world-class Montana muley comes out to one of the most beautiful alfalfa fields there is, and you just couldn't, I don't even know what to say. To be able to go out in a blind and have a beast like this come out and offer me a shot and self-film it. Hoyt Carbon Spider delivered a great arrow. The camera, I think I just bumped either the tripod or the blind with my bow right when I shot, so I can't really see on the film exactly where the arrow hit, but I could see it come out, and I could see on the opposite leg he was cut. So I went ahead and gave him a few hours, but he just came right over this levee down this area, and what an awesome, have I said awesome? Montana muley right there. Nock on, everybody. This one's gonna be easy.
Dead center.
I still remember one of the first bows that I ever bought myself was the fastest, most high performance model that archery shop could get. And I thought that I had the best bow of anyone in the area until I had waited and waited and waited to finally have my one shot at a buck that was right there. And I couldn't pull my bow back. I was nervous and I was a little bit cold, and no matter what I did, I could not even get that string to budge. Then, if I fast forward into my tournament years, I can tell you about a similar setup where I was really going after having a bow that had fast speed so that I could have some margin of error when it came to estimating my distances. And once again, that bow shot perfect for me when I was in a perfectly relaxed and controlled environment, shooting myself or shooting without any pressure on me. However, once I took that setup into a shoot-off situation where I was having people watch me and having to perform for big bucks, it ended up letting me down. So I've learned to appreciate finding a setup that is super forgiving but also offers great performance. So what I would recommend, regardless of what type of bow you prefer, make sure that you can choose a cam system that feels really easy for you to pull, but one that's also easy for you to maintain at full draw. Because a cam has a power curve, which is how that bow actually pulls, whether it's hard at the beginning or harder at the end, whether it's gradual, but also how solid the wall is and how short or long the valley is, which is the distance between that cam breaking over and coming to the full stop. If your bow's always trying to take the string away from you, that's going to be a difficult bow to control when you need to. So what I would recommend is find a bow that allows you to raise up, draw your bow back slow to come to your full draw position. You want to be able to maintain this position without the bow going away from you. And you also want to be able to let down easily if you need to. If you can do that, then you're shooting a bow that's going to be forgiving for you and also easy control when the buck of a lifetime is standing in front of you. After taking care of my mule deer, I grabbed my good buddy Eric, talked him into running camera for me, and we headed to the elk woods. We found an awesome little spot with a lot of sign, and we actually heard one bugle from a bull that was far up on the top of this ridge. We worked our way around at him because he wasn't responding to our calls, so we decided to be aggressive and call at him as we went. But as you'll soon hear, another great bull fired up one time and then came in quiet. I had to make a quick decision.
Right up the leg, golden triangle. Oh yeah. Came in quiet. Just fell. Smoker.
Hey, that was blood just pouring out of it.
You recording?
Yeah. But
This is awesome.
I was really zoomed in tight. I didn't know it. I mean, I got the whole elk in there.
Okay. You got the shot.
Yeah, I got the shot.
Field Recon.
I'm going to give my bull a little time, but one thing that's critical is each year you got to make sure you check what's new on regulations. And this year, like on my tag here for Montana, you got to cut your tag as soon as immediately upon the kill. So I know we heard the bull go down, so we're going to go ahead and notch this out, but you need to make sure when you get these packets in the mail, they normally come with a set of rules in there, and make sure you read them, because this is really important. And I know our game wardens back home, they sure don't like having to bust people for something this small, not properly tagging your bull or your deer. So I'm gonna go ahead and notch this out. He's standing right here. It was only 30-yard shot. Only bull we heard this morning too. Came right in, quiet. I'm just so thankful right now as a bow hunter, and I've got so many great friends in the hunting community right now, and we continually get under fire sometimes by people, and I'll tell you, there's no way I'm never going to enjoy this, because what more could you ever ask for as someone who loves the outdoors, and to be in Montana, a state known for the most beautiful skies in the West, and sun coming up on a butte, crisp, calm morning, bulls screaming up on a ridge, and then just coming in to let you put your tag on there and just enjoy friendship and a bow hunt. And what an awesome reward, and I'm just so thankful that I'm able to. I actually went up a few more pounds since I was in Alberta, so I'm shooting about 60 pounds now with my shoulder. I went up 420 grain arrow, and that is just a perfect shot. Exact placement of my Alberta bull, straight up right in the golden triangle, and just, I am so thrilled. In probably a spot where I can get my Yamaha down here, and he smells like a bull. He's got wallow marks all on his feet, and just soaking it in. Thanks everybody for watching. I hope you enjoy it as much as I enjoy doing it. I just could not be happier. Thank God we're allowed to enjoy this as outdoorsmen. Just such a thrill. Just awesome, awesome. Didn't know he was a 5x6, but I thought that was like a big whale. He came in so fast. I just saw fronts coming in and knew it was a mature bull, and that was it for me. He's done. 30-yard shot. Awesome. Hey everybody, want to join the Nock On Nation? Go to knockonarchery.com to see our entire line of trendy Nock On gear. Enter promo code SHOWFAN and get a free signed photo from Dud. knockonarchery.com. Expand your archery knowledge with Nock On Podcasts, the highest level of world-class archery information available on either iTunes or at knockon.podbean.com.
Nocked and ready to rock.
We're going to talk about how to easily fletch your arrows. And this is something I think every archer needs to know how to do themselves. The first thing that you're going to need is an arrow jig. And there's several on the market. I've done really well with either the Bitzenberger jigs or the AAE jigs. Now with the Bitzenberger, you're going to have to make a few adjustments to make sure that it's set up properly, because this jig gives you the options to have several different fletching configurations using these small screws here. You can choose whether you use a 3 fletch or a 4 fletch. You can also choose, if you are shooting a 4 fletch, what the actual vein connection points are. The other thing, you'll need to slightly adjust your clamp so that the base of your vein is perfectly aligned with the dead center of your arrow shaft. And you can also adjust it so that you have a choice in either your offset or a right or a left wing helical. So once you have your jig set properly, the next thing that you're going to need to do is take some veins and load them in your jig. I can normally put multiple ones in. Take either acetone or, again, one of these Max Clean AAE cleaning wipes and clean the base of your vein. From there, what you're going to want to do is take that vein and align it in your clamp. I normally make a small little mark so that I know where each of these veins need to always go. because I really like to have my vein at 1 3/4 inches from the throat of the nock to where the back of the vein is on the shaft. For me, that's where I've had my best grouping results. So once it's at that mark, I'll go ahead and take a glue designed specifically for the type of plastic vein or feather that you're using. In this case, I'm using an AAE Max vein, so I'm going to use a Max Bond quick set glue. And I'm going to make a small bead from the top all the way to the bottom. When it comes to super glues or quick set glues, you want to figure that less is often more. If you have excess, then your curing and your drying isn't going to be preferable. So I'll lay a small bead and then I'll just take the edge of my finger and wipe that excess off so that I have a smooth glue bead down the base of that vein, and it's going to be even from side to side. Then what I'll do is I'll go ahead and take this clamp and I'll set it on the jig and I'll press it firmly against the arrow shaft so that I have an even and continual pressure from the top of that vein all the way to the bottom. And when you do this right, it is super easy and super fast, and it gives you a lot of options to be just as creative as you want to be right at your home.